Why not? Hello, I have been lurking for a while. I have been married for a little over 3 years to a man that I love with all my heart. Unfortunately, although it is not an excuse, I was abused as a child verbally and physically, and I think because of that, I have suffered from a problem with being honest with my husband and others. For example, I told my husband and others that my mother, who was my abuser, had died when I was an adolescent instead of telling him the truth. We are estranged because I cannot have someone who did the things she did to me in my life. I also told him I was unable to have children because of the time I didn't think I would be able to be a good mother to anyone because of the example I grew up with, and I didn't want to be asked about having a family. This all came to a head when I had an 8-month-long affair which ended in April when he found out about it. He confronted the OM and it is over. As it was all coming out, I also told him about my mother, the other lies that I had been keeping from him. He has 2 wonderful children from his first marriage that I love with all my heart. They have changed my mind about my ability to be a good mother, and now I really do want to be a mom and have a baby with him. He is a great father. I'm not sure of all the reasons that led me to have an affair, but my husband does drink a fair amount and for a long time would come home agitated from work. We also have been living different lives for the last 3 years as I went back to school after we got married. I am done with school now, though. I love him dearly and have started individual counseling, and I am looking into psychiatrists, as I think I may have some issues that a medical doctor might be more suited to treating, although I am not sure about this either. I really want my marriage to work. We have been together since I was a senior in college, and he is the only man I have ever lived with. He is very hurt about everything. It hurts me to no end to see him so hurt. He acknowledges that things weren't great during the time I was having an affair, but refuses to accept any blame. He knows all the details, but keeps asking me hurtful questions like how I could say the things he knows I said to my mom and still be so sweet to him and tell him the same things. He says I ruined his life. He does tell me he loves me and wants our life and marriage to work. However, he is so up and down and all over the place. Other days, he will get drunk and spit in my face at night and tell me what a whore and horrible person I am. I feel so lost and I don't know what to do. I love my husband with my whole heart and I am so sorry. One of the biggest things that hurts is that he says I am not showing any remorse. I am not sure what I can do to show him my remorse. I am trying to be honest and accountable, telling him everywhere I am and everything I do now. How does one show remorse? I feel it, but how can I show it better? He doesn't seem willing to move past this, even though he says he is. I really love him. I do realize that it was my choice to go outside of our marriage instead of trying to make things better with us. I am willing to make the radical changes that I need to keep our family together. I just don't know how to show him this any more than what I have been doing. He knows all my passwords and checks phone records, so he knows I am not in contact with the OM. He just can't seem to get past the betrayal. I want us to get past this so badly. I did not have intercourse with the OM, but we pretty much did everything but, so I guess to my husband there is no real distinction. To him, the emotional betrayal is what hurts the most, which I totally get as well. I would be willing to take a polygraph on this point, and any others. I did not come here to lie, I came here for help to save my marriage. And, he does believe me and knows I did not do this. I also did not come here to get beat up for what I did. I know all the betrayed spouses here are in pain, but those of us who strayed and now want to rebuild our marriages and forge new lives are also in pain. How do I deal with his ups and downs? How do I deal with the I love you and you are a good person day followed by the I hate you, you are the horrible person who ruined my life days? I also feel like he holds it over my head. Any response I make to him that isn't enthusiastic enough is followed by him saying sorry, I'm not as exciting as an affair. I don't even know if he wants me to stay or go some days. I have zero contact with the OM. I let my husband know everything I do by way of phone calls and texts. I also have decided to no longer have any friends of the opposite gender or friends who are not supportive of my marriage. I have resigned from all social networking sites. My husband has all my passwords. These are the things I have done and he knows these. I know I will never have an affair again. I can't bear to hurt him again like that, and I don't want to hurt him ever again. I know I did not sleep with the OM. My husband knows I did not sleep with the OM. The OM knows we did not sleep together. That is all that matters. He actually did not believe me. It took him talking to the OM for him to actually believe that we didn't. But, that's neither here or now. You are not the one who I need to prove my love and honesty to. My husband has also hired a PI which he used to help uncover the evidence of my affair, and I have to assume he is still using. So I have absolutely no incentive to lie, because I cannot lie anymore. Everything is the brutal truth. All I want is my loving husband back and to be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I do not want to put his 2 wonderful children through a second divorce, which I know would be devastating. I choose my marriage and family. I love my husband so much. I just want things to get better. Maybe I should just leave though. Maybe I don't deserve to be married anymore. I can't imagine ever building a life with anyone again though, and I don't want to. There is also a big part of me that wants to tell the OM's wife. As far as I know, she doesn't know anything, and I don't think my husband has contacted her. I know that this is selfish, but in my mind the OM is as much at fault as I am, and he hasn't suffered at all. Very selfish, I know. If anyone has a right to talk to the W, it is my husband, and I should leave that choice up to him. I don't have a problem with a polygraph. I would happily take one. I honestly don't think it would make my husband feel better about anything though. As an aside note, we are both in the legal profession, and we both know far too much about polygraphs to trust their accuracy anyway, so I don't think he would care about the results, although I'd be happy to do it if I thought it would help. I'd do anything to help. I told him I've even quit my job and moved to be closer to his work and not work myself. As in my industry, although we do not work together. Saving my marriage is more important to me than anything. There are some lies I had started to believe as well. I just am hoping now that I don't actually suffer from some horrible and well-deserved karma, and I am actually able to bear my husband a beautiful child when he is ready for that. I got angry because my husband was telling me again that I am not remorseful enough and that I am being selfish. I was angry to begin with because he wrote in his journal about my affair and then was lounging in the backyard with our little girl and negligently left the journal wide open to the page that he had wrote about things on. I came outside and noticed the journal about the same time that she did, and she and I both started reading it about the same time before he noticed and grabbed it away. He says he doesn't believe our daughter can read his writing, but I am not so sure, as he writes her notes every day for school and she can read those. Is it selfish of me to not want our 7-year-old to know about this? During this exchange, he told me also that he wrote the entry with the intent of giving it to the kids someday when they were adults. I don't know how to feel about this. I suppose I have no right to be upset about this, but I am nonetheless. Anyway, in my effort to prove how sorrowful and upset I am that I hurt the one person in my life that trusted me with everything at the most basic level, I told him that I could not imagine being more upset and sadder than I am even if I were in his shoes. I said that in fact I may feel worse because I am the one that has to live with the pain that I caused this horror in our life. He got very upset and told me that his pain and my pain are on completely different levels. I took it back immediately as I realized my mistake in saying that. Even if that is what I feel on some level, I shouldn't have said that. My problem, I guess, is that I do feel that on some level, and I'm not sure what to do about that. I'm sad, as I thought I was making progress, but maybe not. I do want to change. However, I haven't made the progress I thought I had. I know that his pain is far greater than anything I can imagine. What I am trying to figure out is why I would say that it wasn't. Am I really that horrible of a person? I am really having a hard time with that. As long as we are together as a family, I want to protect our children from any pain from this. That is why I don't want them to know. I am also afraid to talk to him a lot of the time. I am afraid I will put my foot in my mouth, or afraid that what I say will unknowingly offend him. I am also afraid that something I say will set off trigger for him and he will be upset. He has a really good way with words and can shut me down very quickly when he wants to, which makes it hard to talk to him. This scares me a lot because I know one of the big reasons I turned to my affair partner was because I didn't feel like I could talk to my husband. My end of conversation wasn't being met. I am depressed and scared that I still feel this way. I am having a really bad night, having a tough time. I have locked myself in the bathroom and brought a pillow because I am up for coming out. I was at lunch with my husband today and I told him some things that he hadn't heard before and he is upset about them. The issue is that I thought I had told him everything about OM and our affair, but today he asked me if he had ever been in my car. I responded yes, because he had been, and I did not want to lie to him about it. Previously, I had not thought of the car as a place when he asked where we had been together. I did not think of it because we had never been physical in either of our cars. They were just a mode for transportation. Twice I dropped him off at places, and I did not mention this simply because I did not think of it as a place when he asked me where we had been together. He got very upset when I told him this and told me I had lied to him again. The truth is, this did not cross my mind to say, especially since it wasn't physical. We were supposed to go out tonight to hang out together, but now he says he isn't up for it. Last night turned around. We ended up talking after I came out of the bathroom and going out to hang out and had a very nice time out. I had so much fun dancing and snuggling with him and it felt so perfect and right. However, today I had a class I had to attend. During the mid-morning break, I was texting with my husband, so I took the cell phone with me to the bathroom. I placed it on the toilet paper roll holder and it slid into the toilet and promptly stopped working. I went back to my seat and emailed him what happened and then Googled ideas for how to recover the phone. I did not get an email response from him, so I went home at lunch and then called him from the home phone and left him a message telling him what happened and to call me at home. Well, he came home and found me outside watering the flowers. He said, "What's up?" I asked him if he got my message. He said he did. I said, "Well, I dropped my phone in the toilet like the message said." He went inside and grabbed my phone, which I had put inside a bag of dry rice like the website suggestions had suggested, and said, "It doesn't seem wet." "I think you are lying." Well, of course it wasn't still wet. I had spent the last hour of class trying to shake it dry to no avail. He walked out the door, and I told him I emailed him as soon as it stopped working, which I had. He just said, "I'll take a look at that, but I don't believe you." Well, I now have a phone that doesn't work and a husband who doesn't believe me. I don't know what to do. It is true, I really am that dumb that I took my phone with me in the stall and it dropped in the damn toilet. He says he was trying to get a hold of me. So, I guess he assumes that I am lying because I didn't want to talk to him. This isn't true. What should I do? Update: he now acknowledges that I must have dropped my phone in the toilet, but is upset because I did not borrow someone's phone to call him. I did not think to borrow someone's phone. My first thought was to use my laptop to send him an email that my phone was shot. He says I violated my commitment to let him know where I am by not borrowing a phone to call him and tell him I was going home for lunch instead of emailing him. I feel so emotionally drained. Maybe I should have thought to borrow a phone, but it honestly did not occur to me. My comment: "R usually takes at least 5 years. If you can't handle this process, you can walk away. But if you choose to stay, expect to eat the crap sandwich for a long time." Story 2. Another sad tale. I believe it was February. I was sitting in the car just outside of my son's gymnastics. I looked at my wife and asked her to be honest with me. There has been something on my mind over the years that has bothered me. I told her that I was sick and dying inside, and needed to know, did you cheat on me with your boss all those years ago? An old question that had not been asked in years and years. Wait, this is going to be a long story, so I may as well start at the start. I married my wife 19 years ago in July. A few years into our marriage, I was not happy with how much my wife was working. She was an engineer and I was a stockbroker. We both made great money, but where I would work 7 to 4 then come home to my life, she would be stuck at work weekends and to all hours of the night. My gut was telling me the same thing that we all know was really happening, but who was I to call the woman of my dreams and the only woman I have ever been with a liar when I asked her if something was going on and she tells me no. It went on for some time like this in my life. Then we had kids and I remember telling my wife that she can't keep working where she was. The hours and our lack of time together was killing me, and the way I see her acting around her boss and defending her work so much at our expense was also killing me. So, she did eventually quit. We quit our jobs, left the city to raise our kids. We bought a house out close to where we both grew up and where our families were. Things were pretty good for the next 5 years with me working from home and my wife being mom. No, we had a boy, then she went back to work for a year, then had a girl before she left. I'll make reference to this later, but in case I forget to mention it, the DNA tests I did show that are my kids. How fun is that, people? We made a decision to homeschool our 2 children, and unfortunately things got rough a bit for us financially. It got to the point that my wife was going to have to work again to help out. We made the decision that she would work for the next few years and I could teach the children, then we would switch again in a few years and leapfrog like that to always keep our family together and be with our kids. She called up her old company and got a job in TN. We were living in Canada, our home, but my wife was insistent that she did not want to work in her old position in Canada. It was an exciting move for us, I thought. A chance to see the world a bit, and what a beautiful place. An adventure, why not? We packed up and started the next chapter of our lives in the South in a new country. Again, I thought things were going well for a while, but certain patterns started to develop and soon the kids and I never really saw mom much. Now, in my wife's defense, she is a workaholic, I believe, which is a condition that I believe real. But anyways, without time together, of course resentment began to grow in both of us, I imagine. Our relationship got to the point where it was me driving her to work each day and picking her up each night so late that she would just come home, prepare for her weekend meeting, and pass out. Rinse and repeat. I was not happy and begged her just to leave work and we worked together from home or anything different from this. She believed that she could not homeschool the kids like I was and convinced herself she had to keep working. And that she did. We did have lots of great times mixed into this schedule and the kids were happy. It would take me 5 years to get my green card, at which point we were hoping to all start a family business, or I was to go work a bit while my wife took her turn at home again. I found myself not able to compete for her attention. Her work got her for 11 hours a day. Between dinner, driving everyone around, etc., I got her for like 5 minutes. I missed her and I saw us just growing apart. But what could we do? Ever forward. Keep the kids learning, keep working hard around the home. If she was having to work late, then the kids and I would work hard too. I never went out or had friends. How would that be fair with her working so hard, I told myself. So fast forward back. Here we were back in that parking lot and I hear the words for the first time in my 18 years with this girl. I made a mistake. I don't have to go into details about how those words can hit you like a freight train, but there it was. It was true. Her affair with her boss apparently lasted for about a year and a half. My past gone. Destroyed. Abolished. We went through the tears and anguish and my wife begged for my forgiveness. It was 15 years ago and we have 2 children. I told her and myself that I would, this once, forgive her, or at least try. But she had to tell me everything I needed to know. But whatever, ignorance is bliss, let me tell you. Some details she told me I could have lived without. My wife told me awful details, but, on her knees, crying and swearing on our daughter's eyes, that was it and she was young and stupid and has been faithful since. The nightmares began. The relentless movie and the triggers kicked in everywhere. The sickness, the confusion. Even today it all seems unreal to me as I write this. I fight through it. I'm not sleeping or eating much at this point, but I continue the struggle, and 3 months later things are still bad for me, but my wife seems to love me so much more than I am used to. I actually get to sleep together now and she kisses me. Wow, this is new, but this is scary in so many ways. Is this the attention that he got? I never had this. Oh my god. Anyways, ever forward. One day about a month into my healing, I approach my wife in the kitchen and perform a pop quiz test that she, or really, I for that matter, knew was coming. I looked at her and calmly said, I just learned about you and Dan. It was a total bluff. Dan was basically the only person I know here in TN. He was a friend of our family that lived just down the road. He was an unemployed drunk, but my wife and his got along. Reaching for my toast, expecting to perhaps get a small chuckle out of my wife. Instead, that freight train came back with a few of his buddies to run me over again. It was only once, and we didn't do much, she says to me as the toast drops to the floor. The darkness overwhelms me. Don't get off this ride till it comes to a complete stop. At this point, I reach out and tell my children, because now they have been cheated on too and they deserve to know of the upcoming turn of events their world was about to take. Not really knowing myself where that turn was to lead, but I was sure it was not going to be good. I was a great father. My children are brilliant and loving and I protected them from everything. I just never saw this knife in the back coming, and I feared for a moment that I may not make it through this for them. Pause in story. I want to apply for the record here. I went 6 months with less than 1 hour of sleep a day and dropped 55 pounds from 200 to 145 in the same time. Little bit of a shock to the whole system, I guess. Here was her story. She told me it was nothing. Dan was over for a Christmas gathering or just for a drink. He was a loser, unemployed alcoholic. Apparently, my wife was at the sink rinsing a glass and Dan came up and grabbed her, outside clothes, and she reached around, a reaction she called it, and brushed her hand across him, again on the outside of clothes. I made her reenact the crime to show me how far past the line she crossed with Dan, and she brought me to the kitchen with tears in her eyes again and showed me how it was just more or less a brushing of genitals. How sickening to add this to my movie collection that was already filled with my wife in parking lots, hotels and bathrooms sleeping with her slimy married boss, who was by no means a looker. At least this new info was not quite as graphic. To deal with this small hiccup is easy. I only have to never have any friends again if I want to keep my wife, or at least limit myself to friends with leprosy. Okay, my mind gets to add this to the wonderful mix. Drinks involved. Okay, if I can do this boss thing, I'll deal with Dan later and it should be cakewalk. Ever forward into my spiraling world of devastation. I think about a week past. I have bruises and scars from my physical attacks on myself. Late night and early morning head-smashing sessions. My daughter and I are on the trampoline sitting looking at the sky, and my wife comes to us crying to tell me of another man she was with back in the old boss screwing days. Something that has been weighing heavily on her chest and she had to come clean again. She says she went to a bar on one of her business trips and was necking with him as he told her sad stories of his sick child. My daughter of 11 years, who has never in her life before this year cried or had reason to, held me and we cried together for hours. We are still crying today. My poor children. I need help here maybe. I talk to no one. Who can I talk to? I have only myself. I must get strong. I start working out relentlessly. I am lean at this time, bordering on anorexic. Get strong, I tell myself. Strong on the outside makes you strong on the inside. I am a vegan now and back up to 160 in the best shape of my life. I can do 75 good push-ups in a row, 17 chin-ups, and can run for miles without tiring. I have tried meditation, I have tried writing, I have given up drinking and have tried to improve myself in every way. Not that I was a bad guy in the first place, just a reaction I suppose. My wife tells me she needed to let me know that, so she was totally transparent. We both have read a lot and studied our situation to find a way to fix me or the marriage or whatever it was that needed to be fixed. It's blurry a bit, but basically more pain and anguish for me over the next month or two. Ho hum. Ever forward. Where has the last 4 months gone? Where am I? Who am I? Who is this woman? Some of you reading understand all this. No need to elaborate. In one of my outbursts about the whole Dan thing, I pick up the phone and tell her I am calling him. I need to know that you are being honest. I tell her simply that if her story does not match that of Dan's, that I have to leave. Of course, I called the old boss's wife to make sure he didn't walk away smelling like roses, or smelling like my wife. There is currently a restraining order in place, so I guess he is a bit scared. Serves him right. Back to the story. It starts to get good here. Got to skip some of the devastating events for my next writing sessions. So as the phone goes to my ear and my finger to the button, how was I to know that freight trains could fly? Wait, she say, frown. The second base action by the kitchen sink that she reenacted for me and that haunted me for weeks was not even real. She made up a movie just for me. The only thing being true was it started in the kitchen. Apparently, what really happened was, I was sitting beside my wife as my friend and neighbor Dan gently slid his hand down my wife's pajama pants as I was not looking, right beside me, from behind. Instead of a polite slap to the face, my wife and this man go upstairs, where she says all that happened was, he touched her again down the pants and she put her hand down his pants and stroked him a bit. She tells me the kitchen story was made up because basically she did not have intercourse with him, so it was just the same thing. A reaction, she calls it. She swears that nothing else ever happened and the two of them never spoke of it even though we still saw them. Knowing what she was capable of and going so far to cross that line, I can believe or understand why they would stop there. She tells me he was hard and yet he did not pursue. So hard to believe. Yet again I feel compelled to believe her. Yep, I must have gone off the deep end. It's not even that, it's the lies as some of you know. Ever forward. Later that week she cancels our date night because her new boss asked her to come out with him on a dinner interview. I told her she has to leave work if there is to be any hope, which is still to be determined. She writes a letter to her work telling the story and asking for help and they let her go. We are now unemployed and crazy. I better quickly switch from homeschooling dad who volunteers time at the local library teaching chess with the kids to now figuring out a way to keep everyone alive before they take our home now. No problem. We'll just add this to my to-do list. I quickly run and rent myself an apartment and move away leaving all possessions behind and spent a few nights alone curled up in a corner of a dark, cold and storage apartment. My home. Where are my kids? Where is my wife? What just happened? She begs me to stay, come back. She tells me she loves me. She tells me she is so sorry. She looks so sad. I feel so sad for her. I come home. How much of our savings were blown in that little escapade? She treats me like a god now and tries so hard. I truly believe she is sorry for her choices. I think she loves me. What is love? She never kissed me before like this or at all really. It is wonderful. But wait, those guys were getting this. What number does this put me in the hierarchy? Somewhere just under the local drunk, I think. I went from number 1 to number 4, just shy of any medals. Par for my course. The roller coaster has yet to stop but at times it slows down a bit now. My wife and I have found that magical place that some find where the love is overwhelming and although the recipe was evil, the results may well be worth it. We lose sight of that love sometimes but maybe it really is out there or maybe it is just not meant to be. No matter, all is lost for me no matter now. We have both learned so much about ourselves. Maybe it could work still. Then I write this and as I read it, I think to myself, what the hell am I still doing here? I have explored all aspects of anger, they all lead nowhere good. I do not like the angry me. I never met him before but let me tell you he is a rat. The internal battles, both mental and physical as he hits me in the face and rarely holds back. Please note that my rage and torment, although sometimes out of my control, is always directed at inflicting pain on myself only. Except for those evil words that spew from my mouth every once in a while, when my walls leak a bit. Those words I know hurt my kids and each day I vow not to let Banner out to vent his rage. Banner is the name I gave to my new split personality. He's the angry elf in me, Banner like David Banner from Hulk you know. The kids don't like it when Banner smashes things, like my guitar the other day. Note to self, stop breaking stuff, especially stuff you like. Not sure where to go from here in my story. Everyone will be waking up soon and I will go downstairs to look for some jobs. Got the foreclosure notice so I better learn quickly to focus here. Time is slipping away. Wake up me. I thought of running away and becoming a superhero and even made myself a website. A bit dark and gloomy but at least it's an option for me. I think it turned out pretty good. I thought this morning, let's get through the day. Keep sorting the thoughts. Try to show only love for the sake of the kids and everyone here. I don't know what to do but I realize in this moment I still have time to think. I can always decide tomorrow or in 19 more years. 19 years. Kids. Love. What a ride. A bad year. Going to run a quick mile before it all starts again. The next showing of my movie starts in 30 seconds. God, I hate these reruns. I sometimes feel ripped off that she got to have so much affair while I got none and I did turn it away when presented to me on numerous occasions in life. These thoughts were never here before. I'm 43 years old and I'm just starting to learn about how fun this bonding stuff can be. Is it a trap? Is she just sleeping together now as a way to keep me? She says the bonding we have now is the best in her life. And that I look better than ever, etc. It's the best bonding I ever had too, considering it's almost the only bonding I've had. Is it a trap? I can honestly say one can never know. But should I care? I love this girl, but she hurt me so badly. Maybe the superhero route would be the best. It's funny, I watch this stuff now and am amazed with how much stuff I came up with myself that is the same as suggested here. I just looked up a polygraph website yesterday and told her I want her to take one. I was just going to bluff and drive out there, can't really afford one. But sure, any tips if I do go through with it are appreciated. I already have a short list of questions I recently asked her, for the 100th time probably, and got her answers. Those questions that just don't sit right with me with her story. Problem is all her 4 siblings cheated on their spouses too and just tell her to get out. My family is more messed up than hers. So, I just meant I have no one to talk to. It certainly doesn't help my self-esteem when you try to take someone back and have to walk around knowing other people know. Makes me feel, well, let's just say there are some pretty big internal battles going on there. I think I believe her. She has stuck through a lot these last 10 months, but maybe she just has no better option. I don't believe that even as I type it. I think she has finally seen what is at stake and hates herself for it, truly. I ask myself now a bit, do I even want to hear more if there is more? What will change? It's awful enough as it is. I will be in the same spot with just more horror. This is where I get stuck perhaps. I want and need the honesty, but I can understand at this point if there is more how she would fight tooth and nail not to tell me because she knows it will be over. Perhaps she finally believed we were going. I wish I didn't hear. Ignorance is bliss. She knew the steps. She knew the term transparency. What is she doing? She is so sad now. Begging. Again. Told her about the list of 20 questions. She says she is sick. Can't explain the lies. I wish I didn't ask. But I had to know. And I was right again about her hiding something. I hate being right. Not a good day for me. Here we go again. The vase shattered into millions of pieces. To be reconstructed yet again. So here I sit. What do I do here? She told me details about the affair with her boss and how it went on longer than she has been confessing. She also admitted crossing the line with another guy. Says he and her were driving, he pulled over, told her he loves her, sang her a song, they hugged, and he tried to kiss her and she didn't. Whatever. I really don't think she would again, but my mind is spinning here. How could she so blatantly lie these last 10 months of healing over and over? You guys call it trickle, but we read of it together. We read it all. Transparency. I think she was just too scared. Obviously. But we agreed no matter how hard it was. Truth. Holy crap. What now? What now? She just admitted that she gave her boss an ex job when she was pregnant. She has been healing with me, swearing that she cut it off 6 months before we got pregnant. Do I really want to hear more? I think she realizes how sick the thought is. How is a man to live with that now? Do I really want to drag more out that I know is out there? Do I want to hear more words that will damage whatever is left of me? Can the crime be too great to forgive no matter how much effort? And the lies she has so passionately made to me even in these times. Self-defense. Wife quit her job at home now. She says she is not going back to work, and I agree that would be bad. But it also, maybe not so right of me, but I feel like not only did this woman do these things, but now I have to stop teaching my kids, get a job, and take care of the 3 of them. I guess that is my job, but looking at it now, something just feels unfair about it. Couple more little things this morning among the tears and crying and apologies. She says that last night she soul searched for anything else she may have not told me, and says again that finally she is clean and so sorry. I think for the first time in 10 months I am starting to really think of throwing in the towel. But it's New Year's Eve. Maybe just a hard time to get through. That almost made me smile. And why throw it in now? I have explored all aspects of anger and they all lead nowhere. Never hurting others except for the words that escaped my mouth. Anyways, here I sit, still thinking what to do. I have been nothing but a better man and all about self-improvement. I see my flaws, but as I read here, I do believe that none of my flaws even comes close to driving her to do what she did to me. It wasn't so much the horrible acts and how she pooped on me time and time again. That probably explains the lies. But she could have just omitted those facts. But what she did was actually make up stories and lies about the facts. Big difference. And she has been lying to me like this over the last 10 months of healing. Heck, she even wrote in her journal lies, knowing I would read it of course, that I think is wrong on a few levels too. I want to fight on. But I seriously am asking myself if I am a fool here. I look around in my mind and all I see are fires to put out from the last blow, and there are so many. So many. Everything else is blurred by the smoke. When I did go through my early days of anger, maybe this will help someone out there. I looked for all kinds of ways to control it because I had a terrible habit of hurting myself over and over physically. Anyways, one method I tried was I wrote myself a letter and gave it to my wife to give to me, or banner, when I was feeling out of control. She would hand it to me and I would read it to myself, and it seemed to switch the anger to tears. Perhaps a recipe someone could use. It's written in third person because of my multiple personality disorder that came with my Discover package. Forgiveness. There are times in life when those we love will make a few mistakes. It's because of love that these things can hurt us much more than we can take. But there is a power that we have to help us through these times. Take a moment to read these words as I try to make them rhyme. Before the rage gains too much control, take a look around. The faces that you see are scared and need you not to frown. Believe you me, that the pain you feel is felt by all you see. It may be different but hurts the same for them, for you, for me. Already you have struck a blow to those you call so dear. You have a choice to make right now, and your path it must be clear. You may choose to vent the pain, destroy and hurt and rage. Or instead, you may choose to accept the love being offered. Protect those that you love in your heart who probably need and want you now just as much as you need and want them. This power has a name: forgiveness, and it's not an easy spell. To master it, I'm afraid to say, is going to hurt like hell. You can do it though, you will see, you're strong. And the rewards, I can tell you. You can't go wrong. I've been here before and so have you. We know what we must say. Fold up this page and get to work to live and laugh and play. End. Reading it now seemed like it was so long ago. Oh, the stuff we went through together. She stuck it out. But the lies. Oh goodness. I certainly had a messed up childhood with a drunk mother, ex her boyfriend on my bed, who had boyfriends that hit me a few times, sure, and ex herself at 30. But that's why I fought so hard and protected my children so much and loved them so much. I wanted my kids to grow up in a home filled with love only. I thought my wife was on board with this, and now it's like she not only messed up the rest of my life, but maybe even messed up my whole bloodline. Overprotected my kids, just never thought I would have to protect them from their mother. Our money is running out and I still am not sure what I am going to do, which make the pressure even greater. I really don't believe there is any multiple personality disorders within me. I think it's just me dramatizing things. Reading over my posts now is a bit disturbing as it is missing slot of the talk about the good things that came from this whole experience. The last few days have been pretty hard on me, and last night my wife gave me a letter expressing how sorry she is, but I found that as I read it that it did not bring out much emotion from me this time. I did not cry this time. I more or less read it looking for things she is trying to hide with her choice of words instead. This can't be a good sign for our relationship. The polls are down today for her, and I let her know this as we held each other this morning. I also let her know that although I am going through some rough times here, that I still need time to think. Then I start to think, that's not fair of me to make her have to wait for me to decide. Maybe she will get sick of all this repair time and dump me. How bad would that be? I think the main reason for me being on these forums right now at this point in my life is that I thought I did it, I guess. I thought the ride was coming to an end, but now my wife and I realize that she accidentally put another token in just as we were jumping off. Here we go again. But maybe this time there will be some shortcuts. Or maybe, runs off to look for a lobotomy coupon somewhere in the house. Status report. I believe she is sorry. I believe she won't do it again. I believe I understand the trickle lies and that they were not meant to hurt me. I am not sure of much else. In all seriousness, I'm just a sad guy that's been sad so long. It's a battle for sure in my mind, stay or go. As for the poly, I really don't think I want to hear the rest, which I am sure is there. May as well save the money and just assume the worst. Cause really, can it get any worse? I really am torn up here. For the first time in this year, I really contemplate leaving and starting over. But is that selfish? I know it will kill me to miss any time with my kids. I think my only other option really comes down to we just have to pretend it didn't happen knowing it always did, and that's it. Not fun but doable perhaps. I question if she ever really did love me ever. She seems to know for sure. She knew that she was the only girl I had intercourse with. So, I really feel ripped off of all my youth. Like she locked me in a closet, went out, had her fun. Never let me have any and never gave me any over the years. And now she opens the closet. I really do feel ripped off because now I go back and think of the opportunities I turned down where I could have had a bit of fun in this world. Here is a letter she wrote me the other day. I've thought long and hard about how to start and write this letter, and what specifically was most important for me to share with you. There are so many things I need to say. I understand. Although it has taken much time, and selfishly this process has been a lengthy and horrific path for you and our kids, I finally understand the deep, dark, insidious depths of my choices in life, and them everlasting consequences. I truly understand that there are no excuses, no reasons, no marital or life problems that can or should ever be expected to justify my actions. After years of lies on top of lies, I understand that my actions and my lies have caused you the most unbearable pain, fear, and physical and emotional destruction. I understand that I have tragically hurt and scarred our innocent children. I understand that trickling the lies has completely destroyed your ability to trust me. I understand that every day you are here beside me, fighting for us, our love and our future, that I do not deserve it. For what I have done, I do not deserve you. I understand all of this now that I am not living life hiding behind a curtain of lies and a mask of deception and untruths. I understand that through the course of our life together, I can no longer call my past, me, actions merely mistakes. I understand that I made a series of very, very regrettable choices, and I take full responsibility for the tragedy of us life today. I understand that some truths are too painful to be forgiven. I am thankful, plain and simple. I am thankful for you and everything that you are and value in life. You are a good person, Marty. You are true to your heart and you know what matters the most in life. You have always been committed to our family. You never strayed, you never lost focus, and you always worked hard. You are a good husband and a good father. Thank you. You have deserved so much more love in life, and I want to give that to you. I am so thankful and most grateful that you have never given up on me, on us, now and in the past. During the good times and the bad, you never gave up. You have taken the hard path. Thank you. I am thankful that every day you find new ways to keep moving forward with me. Thank you for being you. I am sorry. I am sorry that I betrayed you. I am sorry that I cheated on you multiple times, and that I have lied all these years to hide the truth, only to protect myself and the other guilty cheaters. I regret that I lied about my lies. Instead of living my wedding vows to you faithfully, I completely disrespected you. Instead of nurturing you and your love, I treated you like and I gave my love away. I took you, your love, and the family that you gave me, all for granted. I am so sorry and remorseful for this. I am sorry for kicking you when you were down, then kicking you again. I am sorry that when you gave your trust and love to me, that I chose to hurt you. I have been selfish and pathetic, and I regret to have been this person that I so dislike. I am ashamed of my past and me. Actions. Marty, I know your pain runs deep, deeper than I can even understand, and I am so sorry for being the cause. I know that everything around you are a potential trigger and that the movies play nonstop on some sort of sick, constant playback scramble. I am so sorry for placing this inside your brain and that it consumes your every thought. I desperately want to remove it, to make all your pain go away, and I would give anything to do that. I love you. What is love? This is a deep question with many interpretations and answers. Who knows what is the true answer is? In us, world together, no one knows but us. Here's what I know. I know that when given the numerous chances in life to walk away, to start over, and to leave the past, present, and future, we never did. Neither of us did, not 15 years ago, not 3 years ago, and not now. Why? Was this stupidity, or confusion, or fear of change? Did we stay because of the kids? Are we still here because it was easier financially? Did we never give up because we are too afraid to start over, alone? I don't think so. Not any of these reasons. We are here today because we feel love for each other, and it's the kind of love you only feel once in life and is a love that lasts a lifetime. We are here together today because we are hanging on to that love. Like a thin thread, we hang on. But my love, the strength of our thread is greater than the strongest wire. This love is only what matters, and we feel it, and we won't let go. Marty, I love you sincerely from every core of my being. I love you with my heart and soul. I want to share my love with you and only you every day from this day forward. I do not want to lose another day to lies and deception. I will never cheat on you again. And I promise that as we face new challenges in our marriage and life, I will come talk to you and share my feelings and help find constructive solutions together, because I understand now that there is no way possible this could hurt any more than the pain I have already caused you through infidelity. I desperately want to be your best friend. I want you to me, mind. I want to laugh with you, play games with you, and I want to cry with you and hold you when you need me. I want to grow old together and watch our babies grow and our family grow. I want to earn your trust back. I want to make you happy. I have found new meaning in my life. These are new goals for me. They are simple, and if I can achieve them, they will be most rewarding for everyone that I love. Marty, I have looked into the eye of this island, and what I found is beautiful. My love, you are my island. You are the center of me universe, one I want to explore deeply together. I understand. I am thankful. I am sorry. I love you. Together or apart, you will always be my true love. Forever yours, wife. My comment: you can carry on feeling sorry for yourself and be miserable, or you can do something constructive to help yourself, your marriage, and the kids stuck in this unpleasant situation. I am the type of person who subscribes to helping people who want to help themselves. You seem stuck in wanting to be miserable, but for the sake of the kids and everyone's sanity, your wife may well still be lying, and it is in your interest to find out how and when and with whom she betrayed you by going through with the lie detector test, so you can make an informed decision about how to protect your marriage from further betrayals and rebuild it, or if you feel it is the right for your divorce.